Welcome to the Hinchy Gymnasium for tonight's game between the Whitcomb High School Hornets and your West Rutland Golden Horde. Starting tonight for Whitcomb, number 5, senior Andrew Davis Velarde. Number 13, senior Seth Larson. Number 21, junior Marcus Sheldon. Number 23, senior Nick Webb. And number 30, senior Matt Townsend. Whitcomb is coached by Peter Parrish. And now for your West Rutland Golden Horde, number 3, sophomore Jacob Bartlett. Number 21, junior Francis Grabowski. Number 5, junior Jacob Dow. Number 32, junior Brian Maxim. And number 33, senior Zachary Trepanier. West Rutland is coached by Don Dunches Jr., assisted by Don Dunches Sr., and their trainer is Cody Parker. Please stand for the national anthem. Sung by West Rutland student Casey Serrani.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So, getting ready for action here at the Hinchy Gymnasium here in West Rutland. Matchup of 2 Division IV opponents, the Whitcomb Hornets and the West Rutland Golden Horde. I'll reset the starting lineups when they get back on the court, but you did hear them during the announcements. These 2 teams did play each other on Saturday. It was a 3-point win for the Golden Horde. And a tough shooting day for both squads that only saw 4 points scored by each team in the first quarter and only 20 for the whole first half. And the ball goes all the way up, not touched by anybody, falls to the floor. Maxim slaps it back to Grabowski. Gets the ball in the hands of Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow working the ball, gets it over to Bartlett. Bartlett gives it to Grabowski. Grabowski turns the corner, gets it to Maxim in the corner. Turns the corner, gets it to Bartlett. Bartlett, a little stutter step, gets it to Grabowski. Grabowski, deep 3, no good. Maxim comes from the backside, grabs the rebound away from the Whitcomb player. Jacob Dow works off a screen, finds Maxim down in the post. A little bit of contact there. Ball's turned back over. So that was a great find by Jacob Dow. Maxim not able to finish. Got swatted by number 21. Ball to Maxim in the corner. Maxim takes a couple dribbles, kicks it to Bartlett up top. Straightaway 3, and that is good. 3-0 lead for the Golden Horde, 1 minute in. A little high pressure coming. Ball's thrown into the front court to number 30, Townsend. Townsend gets it back to point guard Davis Verlady. Kicks it over to Larson. Larson being guarded by Zach Trepanier. Puts the ball in the deck, throws it over to the corner, number 23, Webb. Webb back up to Velarde. Varsity being guarded by Bartlett. Bartlett strips the ball from the backside. Maxim in the post. On defense on number 21, Sheldon. Dribble drive, kicks it out to number 23. Three-pointer is no good. Ball's on the floor, bouncing around, picked up by Whitcomb. Whitcomb throws it across court to Sheldon. Sheldon puts it on the deck. And Sheldon steps on the end line on his spin move. I think Brian Maxim was thinking that was foul number 1. Had a problem with foul trouble early in this season. Jacob Bartlett brings it up across the timeline, gets over to Grabowski, takes his eye off it, and just turns it over. So Webb brings it up across the timeline, being guarded by Grabowski, going straight man for the Golden Horde to start out in this game. Webb gets it over to Sheldon. Sheldon kicks it over to Larson. Larson kicks it over in the corner to Webb. Webb back up top to Townsend. Townsend puts it on the deck. Jacob Dow closes that down. Back up to Velarde. Picked up by Bartlett. Kicks the ball to Larson on the side. Runs off a screen. Throws the ball in off the foot of Velarde. Jacob Dow picks it up, pushing it end to end. Goes in. Seemed to draw a lot of contact, but no call. Jacob Dow able to slap that ball away, but last touch by the Golden Horde. The ball's going to be put into play by Larson. Larson kicks it in Velarde. He's picked up by Bartlett. Got a screen set by Sheldon in the corner. A little hesitation. Up off the glass. Bounces around, no good. And last touch by Whitcomb. So a little full court pressure coming from Whitcomb. They're going to clear out and let Jacob Dow handle this. Jacob Dow dribbling up across the timeline. Kicks it to Grabowski on the wing. He's looking inside, kicks it to Trippier. Trippier over to Bartlett. Bartlett to Dow in the corner. Nice cut by Trippier. And a little bit of an up fake. Gets the Whitcomb player off the floor, and he lands on top of Trippier. Trippier draws the foul on Larson. So Jordan Johnson's going to enter the game for Zach Trippier. He comes off hobbling a little bit. He took a pretty good shot there. So Johnson's going to inbound the ball. The ball's turned over by Johnson, trying to throw it into the backcourt. Number 30, Townsend, fires the ball over Velarde. Velarde, that's a long rebound. And number 23, Webb, gets the rebound. Townsend being guarded by Jacob Dow. Jordan Johnson's picking up Larson. Ball's put on the deck. Brian Maxim closes that off really nicely. Number 21, Sheldon, takes a dribble, picks up his dribble. Velarde's holding the ball up top. Still 3-0 here, almost the halfway point of this first quarter. So kind of looking like the game the other day. Not a lot of scoring early. Backdoor cut. And Johnson's going to pick up a foul on a hold as his player Larson cuts through. Velarde's going to inbound the ball. Velarde trying to get the ball in play, throws it over the top, gets it back to the corner of Velarde. Velarde's short on the rebound. And a little swing of an elbow. There, Grabowski on the run, puts it up, and it's good. So 6-0 Golden Horde. Larson not able to handle that, or Sheldon's not able to handle that long pass. Pulls it back out wisely to the point guard Velarde, who's being picked up by Bartlett. Maxim's holding off Sheldon. Sheldon puts up the long three, no good. Throws it, Jacob Dow makes a nice save, throws it back into Maxim. Nice play there by Dow as he brings up across the timeline, works his man, gets it to Johnson. Johnson puts it on the deck, goes all the way to the rim, no good. Brian Maxim on a nice hustle play, no good. Bartlett is fouled on the second attempt. So Jacob Bartlett picked up the foul on number 5. Entering the game for Whitcomb, Zach Gillette, number 3, and number 35, Colby Washburn. The ball gets put into play by Johnson, gets it to Dow. Dow's looking to set up a play, looking to work off the screen of Maxon. Gets the screen, they get a switch, got a mismatch down in the post. Brian Maxon goes up and gets fouled. So Brian Maxon off that screen gets a mismatch. Jacob Dow recognizes it immediately. Maxon goes up, gets hit. Probably a shot that he would like to make, but did earn the foul shots. He will go to the line to shoot 2. 6-0 Golden Horde, 3:01 to go here in the first quarter. First one is up, and that's long off the back iron. That foul came on Davis Velarde, who is their point guard, and that was his second early in the game. So he's going to make a trip to the bench, and coming in his place is Taylor Washburn. So Maxim for a second. That one's up, and that one is good. So 7-0 lead, and we have our first timeout of the game. We'll wait and see what they're going to ask for. So he's going to take a full timeout. So we're going to take a short rest here so I can get a drink of water. Okay, we're going to return back to action here. That was a Whitcomb timeout, full timeout by the coach. 7-0 lead on that last made foul shot by Maxim. A little bit of pressure put in the backcourt here, putting some pressure on Whitcomb. Jacob Dow picking up the ball. Ball's put on the floor by Sheldon. Sheldon fires it down into the post, and we are going to have a held ball. Jordan Johnson, not one of the biggest guys, but he is scrappy. He got both hands on that ball, and we got a held ball, and the alternate possession will go back to Whitcomb. That ball's thrown in, tipped off Brian Maxim's hand, and he gets the block as well. Gillette finds Washburn in short corner. That is no good. Battle for the rebound. Rutland struggled with us the other day, coming out in a zone after these inbounds. They're normally playing man, and they're having a hard time boxing out. Gave Whitcomb a lot of extra possessions because they couldn't find a defensive board. Sheldon puts that ball up. That is long. Jacob Dow grabs the rebound. He's pushing it. Gets it to Bartlett on the wing. Kicks it back to Grabowski. Grabowski up with that shot, and that one is good. Francis Grabowski, 2 for 2 in the 3-point attempts. So 10-0 lead, 2:10 to go here. And they put the ball in they're putting a little bit of pressure on, but they just clear out, let Jacob Dow run right by him. Kicks the ball to Maxim in the post and misses the bunny. Nice find by Jacob Dow. Easily broke the pressure. Maxim looking to finish that play, so 23, Nick Webb finds the cutter on the back door, number 11. Washburn for the first points for Whitcomb, so 10-2. Okay, ball goes from Jacob Dow over to Jake Bartlett. Jake Bartlett's holding it, letting people move, gets it to Jordan Johnson, who skips it to Francis Grabowski. Grabowski comes across, set the screen, gets it to Maxim outside the 3-point line. Jacob Dow comes off the screen, set by Maxim. They get another switch. Ball goes Jacob Dow. Nice crossover. Fakes the pass to Johnson. And then he's able to get all the way to the rim. Nice finish by Jacob Dow. I know I've said this a lot, but his offensive game has come a long ways this year. He's looking to score for himself this year, as well as run the point. He's doing a fabulous job of both. Francis Grabowski with some good hands outside of the 3-point arc. Staying in his zone. And Zach Gillette straight away. Rebound comes down to Maxim. Maxim gets to the Bartlett, pushes it forward, tries to get it to Jordan Johnson. The ball's turned over. Ball skipped to the corner. Number 11, nice up fake, and kicked out to Sheldon. Sheldon makes the 3, 12-5. 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter, 12-5, 7-point lead for the Golden Horde. Gets the ball to Jacob Dow. Kicks it to Brian Maxim up top, over to Jordan Johnson. Bartlett looking to put it out to Grabowski. Grabowski puts it up. Shot is no good. Long rebound out to Gillette. Gillette turning Bartlett, working the ball. Sheldon. They're looking to get a last-second shot. Gillette from very deep. Rattles around, no good. That shot wouldn't have counted if it went. Our official out at the half-court line said it was no good. So we're gonna take a short break here at this first quarter intermission. Okay, we're back for second quarter action here at the Hinchy Gymnasium with the West Rutland Golden Horde leading 12-5. No changes in either lineup coming out of the break. Jacob Dow is going to be running the point for West Rutland. He's done a really nice job, good ball movement and scoring. The good news is Francis Grabowski has hit 2 of his first 3 3-pointers. There is a slight change. I didn't see 34 come on. Hodgson is on in place of Sheldon. Big inside presence, it looks like. Hodgson gets his first touch, puts the ball on the deck, dribbles off his own foot, goes to Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow just blows by his player, goes into Jake Bartlett, but Jake Bartlett makes the catch and takes a couple steps there. So the ball's thrown into play. Ryan Maxim gets the steal, kicks it over to Grabowski. Grabowski, a little hesitation because of a miscatch. Jacob Dow showing his size, and they're pounding the boards. Jacob Bartlett turns the ball over to Zach Gillette. Zach Gillette in, off the backboard, and good. It comes into Bartlett, comes into Dow. Dow coming across. Looked like West Rutland was going to able to stretch their lead a little bit there. Weren't able to finish on the steal. Get the ball to Maxim in the corner. Maxim puts it on the deck, turns the corner. The jumper in and out, no good. Rebound comes down to Gillette. Gillette pushes the ball up over the timeline, kicks it, and too long, wide of his player, not out of bounds. So Willie Grabowski, freshman, who in recent times has just been moved up. I have to say he was the offensive hero on Saturday. Team scoring 31 points. He had 12 of the 31 with 4 3-pointers in his time on the court. Played really well, gave a lot of energy. So he came in for Bartlett. Grabowski gets the ball from Johnson, kicks it over to Dow. Dow, fake handoff, gets it to Grabowski. Grabowski comes off the screen. Ball's thrown over the top. Grabowski gets turned over. And the bucket's up and good. 12-9 now. West Rutland in a little scoring slump right now. Gets it over to Grabowski, William Grabowski that is. Kicks it to Johnson. Johnson throws it over to Grabowski, he's the older. And back to Johnson. Maxim at the top, spins, runner up off the glass and good. So I think Brian Maxim recognized that the player that's guarding him cannot stay with him from the 3-point arc, because that's the second time he's tried getting to the rim. That time it worked for him. Good defense. Well, looked like good defense for Jordan Johnson, but Jordan Johnson gets called for a block. And on that foul, Zach Trippier is going to be coming in for Jordan Johnson. So Whitcomb's going to inbound the ball. Taylor Washburn on the end line, looking to inbound the ball. So Brian Maxim guarding it. Ball's thrown into play to number 20, Rhodes. Rhodes back to the, and we have a foul on Grabowski. And he fouled him on a 3-point attempt, so gonna see a 3-shot coming from the foul line. So number 11, Taylor Washburn, inbounded the ball, ran to the corner, wide open, and was able to draw the foul. He's good on the first one. So 14-10, 5:43 to go here in the second quarter. 2 more to come. Second one's good too. That's why they say don't foul a jump shooter, because they have a tendency to be pretty good from the line. 2 for 2 so far, third one to come. That one's up. That one rattles off the rim, no good. Maxim battles for the rebound, it comes down to Trippier. Trippier gets it to Dow. Dow pushes the ball up and gets up to the timeline, being pressured by Rhodes. William Grabowski gets it from Dow, gives it to his brother Francis. Francis calling out a play up top, gives it to his brother, turns off the screen, gives it to Trippier, gives it to Grabowski, gives it to his brother, gets it to Dow in the corner. Looks a little scrambled right now. Nice hustle play by Grabowski, and Jacob Dow buries the 3. Nice shot, Jake. So that puts the lead back up to 6, 17-11. Great hit by Jacob Dow. He saw that the play wasn't really working, might as well put it in his own hands and buries the three-pointer. Gillette kicks it to the corner, over to Rhodes. Rhodes dribbles, kicks it. Gillette up fake, gets William Grabowski off the floor, fires it into the post. Shot up off the glass by Rhodes, good for 2. 17-13. Jacob Dow calling out the play. Brian Maxim, he comes off the screen, gets it over to Grabowski in the corner. That shot is no good. Brian Maxim battling for the rebound. Battles everywhere, gets it to Dow. Gets it to Brian Maxim down on the baseline. Up and good. And we got a hobbling player from Whitcomb. Good spot by our official. Kim noticed we had a hobbling player. It looked like he banged his knee on the floor, was able to stop play and get him off the court so he could get the injured player off. So with that make, for Brian Maxim, we're now back to a 6-point lead for the Golden Horde. And Francis Grabowski jumps the passing lane and is able to bury the shot. Brian Maxim guarding the inbounder. Looks like they're putting a little pressure full court here. Back to their man-to-man. Francis Grabowski works his man. The pass comes back out to Webb. Webb dribbling outside the three-point arc, kicks it over to Rhodes. And Colby Washburn gets in, gets by his man. Brian Maxim fouls him from the backside. First foul on Maxim, 4th on the team. And Colby Washburn, sophomore, is at the line to shoot 2. First one is up. That one is no good. Coming back in the game for Whitcomb, Marcus Sheldon. Seemed like they depended on his offense a lot on Saturday. He likes to shoot, he's a pretty good shooter. So he enters back in the game. Washburn is going to have his second attempt from the line. That one is no good as well. Sheldon gets the rebound. Brian Maxim's able to run down the second chance rebound. So Jacob Dow is going to bring the ball up across the timeline. Nobody's picking him up. So let's go with the basket and make it. Good recognition by Jacob Dow. Nobody picked him up. He was able to get in and over the much taller player threw a nice one-handed, left-handed runner. Brian Maxim grabs the rebound on the backside. Gets it out to Jacob Dow. We got numbers. Kicks it to Grabowski, the junior. And that's long, no good. Rebound comes down to Sheldon, who gets it over to Webb. Webb running the point, throws it over to Washburn. Washburn on the cut, and Francis Grabowski slides across to help out on the cutter and picks up his second foul. So Marcus Sheldon is going to go to the line to shoot 2. And that first one rattles around and falls off the front of the rim. So Zach Trippier is going to come out of the game. And Jacob Bartlett comes in for him. Francis Grabowski is going to take a seat. They're going to come back with Caleb McLaren getting his first time of the evening. Second one is up and it's good. Brian Maxim steps out, puts the ball in the play to Jacob Dow. 23-14, 2:43 to go here in West Rutland. It's the Varsity boys matchup of Division 4 teams. William Grabowski throws a pass to Caleb McLaren. Caleb McLaren puts it on the deck, gets his pocket pick. Ball thrown over the top. Jacob Dow picks it up. Behind the back dribble by Washburn, and he's able to go up off the glass and in. So turnovers have cost the Golden Horde. They've turned it over, and Whitcomb's been able to score pretty easily from those turnovers. Ball's up top to Maxim, gets it over to Bartlett. Bartlett to Dow in the corner. Looks to feed the post, nothing there. Gets it to McLaren. McLaren gives it to William Grabowski. The left-handed runner's no good. Right-handed follows no good. Caleb McLaren in traffic, gets the ball swatted away. Varsity picks up the ball, gets it over to Webb. Webb in the corner, jumps, throws it over the top to Varsity. Varsity trying to get the ball thrown across, gets it to number 20, Rhodes. Rhodes back to Sheldon. And Sheldon picks up a foul driving to the hoop. Not sure if he was shooting. Yep, they're going to say he was shooting on that one. So Caleb McLaren picks up his first foul. 6th team foul. So Whitcomb is going to go into the bonus on the next team foul by West Rutland. Marcus Sheldon misses his first attempt from the line. 7-point lead for the Golden Horde, minute 38 to go. If anybody was in Whitcomb to watch the game on Saturday, this is an offensive explosion for both teams. And able to climb the backboard. Nice block by Caleb McLaren from the backside. And they're gonna call it a held ball. So on the alternate possession, Whitcomb is going to get the ball.
Here we go.
Brian Maxim guarding the inbounder. They throw it over the top, out to Sheldon. Sheldon kicks it over to Webb. Webb back to Velarde. Hesitation dribble, gets it over to Larson. Ball's in the corner, back up to Velarde, the point guard. Hasn't played much here in the first half, hampered with 2 fouls. Larson over in the corner to Velarde, back over to Sheldon. And the defensive pressure by Grabowski and Dow closing on that ball forced a travel violation. So the ball's going to go back over to West Rutland. Minute 8 to go here in the second quarter. 7-point lead for West Rutland. So Jacob Dow comes up across the timeline, calls out the play, kicks it to Brian Maxim in the corner, puts it on the deck, throws a long skip pass across to Caleb McLaren. William Grabowski dribbles, hands off to Jake Bartlett. Jake Bartlett turns the corner, dribbles off the foot, gets it back out to Dow, reset it. Looking to reset it. Kicks it over to Bartlett. Bartlett gets over to McLaren. McLaren back to Willie Grabowski. Willie Grabowski looking, finds Maxim in the paint. Gets it back out to Grabowski. No good. Caleb McLaren on the glass, cleaning it up. Brian Maxim battling on the glass. Gets his pocket picked. And great hustle play, forces the ball back up. See two or three of those a game out of Maxim, getting on the deck, forcing the ball back to his team. And Coach Paris, I think, is a little upset with his team because he just dumped in his whole bench. He's got 5 new on the floor. 21.3 seconds to go. And Brian Maxim makes a great cut and gets hammered by Gillette as he's going to the hoop. It's a nice play run by West Rutland off that inbound. They seem to do that. They seem to do that quite a bit. They have some sort of play that they clear out the whole lane and they get wide open layups on both the JV and the varsity team. So 20.1 seconds, Maxim at the line to shoot 2. First one is up, and that one rattles out. So 7-point lead for West Rutland. Brian Maxim at the line, got 1 more to go. 20.1 seconds to go in the second quarter. Shot is up, and that one is good. So West Rutland putting a little pressure on the ball. Coach doesn't want him to foul because they're in the bonus at this point. Jake Bartlett closes him down. Jacob Dow, nice close in the corner. Double team comes, get him trapped in the corner. Fires it up and gets it. 5 seconds to go. Throws the ball over to McLaren. Back to Rutland. Grabowski at the buzzer, and that shot is no good. So a little flourish there at the end. They had him trapped in the corner, and he stepped through the trap and fired up a shot. I think they're questioning whether or not the kid traveled or not, but shot's good. It looked like he was passing it. Didn't have a lot of arc. So then the first half, 24-18, West Rutland in the lead. We're going to take a break for halftime. We'll be back for second half action. Okay, so West Rutland is coming out with the ball here to start the third quarter. 24-18, Golden Horde's in the lead. Jacob Dow working off the screen, turns the corner, nice little stop, pop. Brian Maxim knocks the rebound back out. Good hustle by Jacob Dow to track that ball down. Kicks it to Grabowski in the corner, that's short. Brian Maxim battles for the rebound, gets it back to Jacob Dow. Out to Jake Bartlett, little step back. His three is long and grabbed by Zach Gillette of Whitcomb. Pushing the ball forward. Gillette, straightaway threes, no good. But Washburn, big body sophomore, is there on the putback. Nice rebound and nice finish by Washburn. So Jacob Dow comes up, makes a nice cut. Brian Maxim crashes the boards on the Jacob Dow mix and puts it up and in. No box out on Maxim, which is a bad move, considering he's the team's best rebounder. So back to a 6-point lead. Teams trade baskets early here in the third quarter. Number 11, little hesitation. Back to 23. Webb dribbling around up top, fakes the pass, gets over to Washburn, long three. No box out by Bartlett, but the ball goes to Gillette. Long pass by Jacob Dow, picked off by Washburn, the older Washburn. I'm assuming that they're probably brothers or cousins, two Washburns on the team. The 13, Larson, dribbling above the timeline. Webb, back to Larson. Larson works the ball, gets it over to Washburn, throws the ball in, and Francis Grabowski tips the ball out, but it's regathered by Larson. Larson gets it to Gillette. Gillette takes a dribble, gets it over to Webb. Webb puts it on the deck. Grabowski closes him down. Brian Maxim with the steal. Steals the ball, goes in with the left hand, no good. Great steal. He looks to push the ball forward. Ball's up. Brian Maxim grabs the rebound. Surrounded by Whitcomb players, gets it to Dow. Dow's pushing it forward, he's got numbers. Little hesitation, gets it to Zach Trepanier down in the post, who's fouled on his attempt. So Jacob Dow's recognizing that they're trying to put pressure on those rebounds, and he's pushing the ball forward and putting his teammates in really good situations to score. Zach Trepanier puts up his first one, that is good. It's up to a 7-point lead. Entering the game for Whitcomb is Marcus Sheldon. Exiting the game is Seth Larson, who actually just picked up that foul, which was his second. Zach Trepanier's second one's long. Rebound's ripped down by Washburn. Washburn gets it up to Sheldon. Sheldon fires it across to Gillette. Gillette in the short corner. Maxim surrounded again, gets it to Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow gets it to Bartlett. Bartlett puts it on the deck. The runner tries to go up and gets it swatted.
Where's the weak side help on that? No, 2 guys over there.
So they're going to run their play on the inbound. Jacob Bartlett's going to be inbound in the ball. So ball's being put into play. And Francis Grabowski looked like it might have been a clean block, but they got number 23, Nick Webb, on the foul. So Francis Grabowski is going to go to the line. Once again, that play, whatever they call it, gets a wide open player in the lane. Both times it's earned fouls. They haven't got the bucket out of it, but Francis Grabowski goes to the line and he sinks the first of two. Up to an 8-point lead, 28-20, 5:06 to go in the third. Second one is up. That one rattles around, no good. Maxim battling for the rebound, but Washburn is able to pick that ball off and get it forward. 23, Webb. Webb gets it to Gillette. Gillette dribbling up above the timeline. Bartlett on him. Gets it back over to Webb. Webb fires the ball back over to Gillette. Gillette puts it on the deck. Goes in and earns the foul. Jacob Bartlett's called for a push. First team foul. First player foul on Bartlett and first team foul. Jordan Johnson is checking into the game for Zach Trepanier. So Jack Gillette's going to put the ball into play with Brian Maxim guarding the inbound. Looking to to find somebody, throws it up over the top, gets it into Townsend. Townsend takes a couple dribbles, gets it over to Sheldon. Sheldon to the corner, Gillette back to Webb. Webb puts it on the deck, gets it to Gillette. Gillette setting it up, calls out the play, fires it over to Sheldon. Sheldon to the corner to Washburn, back to Gillette. Bartlett's forcing him to go to his right. And that is a three-pointer hit by Nick Webb. So Jacob Dow comes up across the timeline, looking to run a play. Sets the screen. Ball's up off the glass, no good. Backside. And Brian Maxim picks up a foul on a reach. Dumb foul there by Maxim. Only a second. 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 28-23, 5-point lead for the Golden Horde. Ball's thrown into play to Webb. Webb dribbling up. Francis Grabowski guarding him. Nobody in significant foul trouble for either team. The most anybody's got is 2 at this point. We got Marcus Sheldon with the ball, kicks it over, closes it down. Sheldon fires it up. Jacob Dow with a great box out, being hugged from behind, no call there. Fires it up to Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson kicks it to Brian Maxim in the short corner. Kicks it back out to Dow to settle it down. Kicks it over to Grabowski. Grabowski holding, waiting for Bartlett to come up. Bartlett over to Johnson. Johnson looking to get the ball, and Jacob Bartlett, nice one-handed runner. 2 left-handed point guards confuse a lot of teams. Looking for the right-handed shots, and our 2 lefties have a tendency to get off some pretty good shots because of that. Brian Maxim laying off Sheldon. Washburn puts it on the deck, goes around Johnson. Brian Maxim looking to get the ball in play, gets it to Dow. Dow just runs right by him. I think his player's standing still. Back to a 5-point lead. Hand off to Francis Grabowski. Francis Grabowski gets it to Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson over to Dow. Dow fakes the handoff to Maxim, gets it to Bartlett in the corner. Bartlett thinks about the 3, gets it to Johnson. Jordan Johnson throws it over the top. A little bit too high and goes out of bounds. So a few new players coming in for Whitcomb, Velarde, and number 20, Rhodes, come in. Ball's thrown into play, into the backcourt to Velarde. Velarde comes up across the timeline, guarded by Bartlett. Maxim sagging off Sheldon. Sheldon takes some dribbles, kicks it down into the short corner. Brian Maxim steps through and gets a nice steal, gets it over to Dow. Good heads-up play coming off his man by Maxim there. Jacob Dow working him. A little bit of a hand check, gets it over to Maxim in the post. And he's called for the travel. Brian Maxim just got the call from his coach saying go up strong. He had a little guy on him. He probably could have just gone right up to the basket. So a little bit of full court pressure coming here from West Rutland. Letting the ball come into play, but going to put some pressure on. There's a held. Yeah, that's a carry. Ball got caught up on the player's hip. So Jacob Dow just putting some active pressure on him, making him switch over to his non-dominant hand, and got caught up on his shirt and hip. Looks like he's trying to work Jacob Dow to his right. Finally figured out he's left-handed after 2 straight games. Over to Grabowski. Grabowski buries the 3 and poses. So 8-point lead for West Rutland. Ball to Velarde. Velarde, little hesitation dribble, and puts up a nice shot. Ball gets put into Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow coming up across timeline. Lets Jacob Dow go right. Jacob is looking for the backdoor cut by Bartlett. Ball's all over the place. Yeah, Brian Maxim gets called for a push, trying to go for that loose ball. So 1:14 to go. Brian Maxim picks up his 3rd foul. He's going to go to the bench. William Grabowski coming into the game. looking to inbound the ball. William Grabowski smothering the defense on Rhodes. Rhodes kicks it over to Townsend. Townsend in the corner. Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow slaps the ball off from the Whitcomb player. But the official had it last touched by Jacob Dow. So it's going to be Whitcomb's ball. Far sideline. Good pressure. Ball's thrown over the top. Jordan Johnson goes for the steal. The front player catches it. And no look pass thrown there by Marcus Sheldon, but it was thrown straight into the stands. So number 30, putting high pressure on Jacob Dow, trying to not allow him to get the ball. Gets it into William Grabowski. Grabowski to Jordan Johnson. Francis Grabowski with the long shot. And William Grabowski gets on the floor. On the alternate possession, that is going to go over to Whitcomb. 49.4 to go in the quarter. Ball's into play to Townsend. Townsend, little hesitation dribble on Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow working him. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Velarde. Velarde looking to cross up, get a switch. Jacob Dow now picking up. Him and Bartlett switch men. 32 seconds to go. Velarde goes behind the back. A little push off there, but no call. Comes back out top to Rhodes. Rhodes gets it over in the corner to Sheldon. Sheldon tries to get the ball inside. Nice step around by Francis Grabowski to deny. Riley gets the ball back. 15 seconds to go here in the quarter. Goes behind the back again. Maybe a 5-second call possibility there. Jacob Dow is working him pretty hard. Sheldon, little hesitation. Little step back three, and that's good from number 20, Zach Rhodes. Jacob Dow, 3/4 court, just wide of the basket. So the end of three, we got a 3-point contest, 33-30. Golden Horde are winning. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back after this time. Okay, we're back to action here at the Hinchy Gymnasium. 33-30. West Rutland will start with the ball to start the fourth quarter. Team fouls are 3 for West Rutland, 2 for Whitcomb. Going to start out with a smaller lineup of Maxim on the bench with 3 right now. Jacob Dow, Jacob Bartlett, Francis Grabowski, William Grabowski, and Jordan Johnson. So a pretty guard-heavy lineup right now. William Grabowski picks up the dribble, gives it to Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson throws a really tough pass. And it skips through Williams' hand for a turnover. So moving the ball around, Washburn, nice finish for Washburn in the lane. Gets it into Jacob Dow. He's being picked up by Taylor Washburn right now. Comes up across the timeline. Backdoor cut by Bartlett. Gets it to Grabowski in the corner. That's short. Jordan Johnson. Nice hustle play. Not able to make the basket. Washburn skips it across to Webb. Webb dribbling up across the timeline. Gets it over to Washburn. Washburn to Webb. Webb for the long 3. And Francis Grabowski rips down the rebound. Throws it out. Gets it to Bartlett. Bartlett gets it to Willie Grabowski. Willie Grabowski is short on his 3-point attempt. And they get the ball to Marcus Sheldon. Sheldon gets it up to Gillette. Gillette comes across the timeline. Fake pass to one side, goes the other side to Webb. Webb comes off the screen by Gillette. The running one-hander is no good. Tapped out by Jordan Johnson. Kicks it back out. Webb steps into a 2-point attempt, and that's no good. And that is going to be a white possession. And we're going to get a timeout. We're going to go a full timeout here. So we're going to stay here so we can get caught up on some things. So to reset the lineups, on the court for Whitcomb right now is Colby Washburn, big body sophomore. Has been trouble on the post for us all game long. Zach Gillette, number 21, Marcus Sheldon, number 23, Nick Webb, and the last player is number 11, Taylor Washburn. Not sure if the two Washburns are brothers. Don't look a lot alike. We got blonde hair and dark hair, but facially they look similar. West Rutland to reset. Maxim came in on that timeout for Jordan Johnson, so he went a little bit bigger. Still pretty guard heavy. Four guards and a big. Got Willie Grabowski, Jacob Bartlett, Jacob Dow, William and Francis Grabowski, and Brian Maxim. Little hesitation dribble by Jacob Bartlett. Nice scoop with his right hand. Nobody picked him up. He dribbled through the lane and it looked like he wanted to pass, but nobody picked him up, so he put it up and in. So 3-point lead again for the Golden Horde. Ball skipped across to Gillette. Gillette at the top of the arc, puts it on the deck. Working Jake Bartlett down. Ball's put on the floor by number 21. Ball's thrown across. Last touch by one of the Washburn boys from, not sure which one touched it, but it was Whitcomb. So ball's gonna be inbounded. Get it into Jake Bartlett, or Jacob Dow, and Jacob Dow, coach is just yelling, get out. He's so smooth with the ball. He's able to work it across the timeline as long as it's not drawing a double. He gets over pretty easily. Brian Maxim got the ball, skipped it to William Grabowski, who got it to Jacob Dow. He caught up his back over to William Grabowski in the far corner. He ducks in and gets called for the travel. So, 35-32. 3-point lead for the Golden Horde. So 23, Nick Webb bringing the ball up. Nope, hands it back to Gillette, and Gillette's going to bring it up across the timeline. He's working against Jake Bartlett. Ball's thrown over, sideline to Sheldon. Sheldon puts it on the deck, throws it back to Gillette. Gillette looking for a screen from the backside. Nick Webb. Nick Webb bringing the ball around, gets it to Washburn outside the 3-point arc. Washburn, little hesitation dribble. Deep three. That's no good. Jacob Dow, great timing on that. One of the smallest players on the court. Grabs the rebound. The ball's being pushed forward. Working Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow picks up the hand check foul as he's going to the basket. Not sure if he got him on the floor or on the shot. Oh, they called it on the shot, so Marcus Sheldon is going to go to line to shoot 2. First one is no good. So still a 3-point lead, 35-32, 4:37 go here in the fourth quarter. 14 fouls for the Golden Horde at this point, 2 team fouls for Whitcomb. Second shot is up, and that is no good. But Washburn, Colby Washburn, picks up the foul, climbing the back of Francis Grabowski. Nice box out by Grabowski on that. Washburn's been a load. He's grabbed a lot of rebounds off him, misses like that tonight. But great job boxing him out, and he was able to earn the foul on him. So Jacob Dow brings it up across the timeline, being guarded by Washburn. Gets the ball to Jake Bartlett. Jake Bartlett's being guarded by Zach Gillette at this point. Grabowski, the younger Grabowski, gets it to Maxim at the foul line. Maxim's got Washburn on him, gets a handoff to Dow. Brian Maxim, or Jacob Dow comes across, dribbling the ball, and Don Dunches Jr. wants a timeout. He's calling a 30-second. Not a lot of movement there, not a lot going on that offense, so we're going to stay here as we reset. So 35-32, 4:04 to go. Most players are in decent shape as far as fouls goes. Maxim has 3, and there's a couple different players for West Rutland with 2, and the Hornets have a few players with 2 as well. But nobody's in serious foul trouble with 4 minutes to go here. The offense has kind of slowed down. The first quarter was pretty good shooting by both teams, and everything seemed to slow down a little bit. Might be the fact that they know each other so well. They played each other on Saturday, so same type of contest. West Rutland was able to stretch a lead to 11 on Saturday before finally winning by 3. And tonight, the largest lead for West Rutland, I believe, was 7. Ball's inbounded by Jake Bartlett, gets it to Francis Grabowski. Jacob Bartlett looks like he's going to run it up top, gives it to Jacob Dow. Jacob Dow going to work off a screen, able to come off the screen, looking for William Grabowski on the backside. And ball's thrown over the top, to Washburn. Ball thrown over the top to Washburn. Francis Grabowski, with a wild arm swing, was able to grab the ball and grip it on that. Don't see a lot of those without a foul being called. It was a good job by Grabowski to control his body. On the inbound, number 21, Marcus Sheldon was able to go up and off the glass, get a layup. They're working the screen, gets it over to Grabowski. That is wide of the basket. Gillette picks up the ball, throws it over the top to number 23, and it's up and in. 1 point lead. Whitcomb picks up the 1 point lead. First time they've led in the game. 3:13 to go. So Jacob Bartlett dribbles the ball around up top, gets it to Dow. Dow gets it to Maxim. Gets it over to Francis Grabowski, turns the corner, goes to the basket, and draws the foul. So exactly 3 minutes on the board. 36-35, Whitcomb in the lead for the first time tonight. 4 teams fouls for both sides. And that is the first team foul on Marcus Sheldon. Francis Grabowski at the line to shoot 2. First one is good. Francis Grabowski, I think, is perfect from the line tonight. Hopefully we didn't jinx him. Tied at 36. Second one's up. That one is good as well. West Rutland's going to put some pressure on here. A little bit of pressure, and they're going to back off. William Grabowski's got the ball handled to Webb. Webb gets it over to Washburn. Washburn way outside the three-point arc, throws it into the post. And nice play. Nice play there by William Grabowski. And foul comes late from the outside official. So the outside official must have seen something that the underneath official didn't. Must have had him on the arm or something. And so that one's up and good. That ties it at 37. 2:47 to go, 37 all. Foul went on William Grabowski, his first. That shot is up. That one rattles in too. And we got a timeout from Whitcomb. And they're going to go full timeout. So we're going to take a short break here. Back in action here at West Rutland after the timeout called by Whitcomb. 38-37, 2:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. Both teams have the same lineup. Whitcomb is looking to pressure the ball in the backcourt. Gillette's got Bartlett. Bartlett comes across the timeline, gets it back to Dow. Washburn's going to pick up Dow, gets it over to Grabowski. Grabowski kicks it to Maxim, who gets it to Bartlett. Jacob Dow pulls it back down. Gets it to William Grabowski. William Grabowski puts it on the deck. Jake Bartlett. Handoff. Nice handoff to Brian Maxim. 39-38. Jacob Bartlett drew the attention, dropped it off for an easy bunny there for Maxim. Nice pass. Nice look by Jacob Bartlett. 39-38. Working with the ball. Washburn up top. And Francis Grabowski gets called for the hand check. And he agrees with it. So that's 16 fouls for the Golden Horde. They'll be shooting 1-1 their SOA, or Whitcomb will be in the bonus on the next one, shooting 1-1. Grabowski just picked up his third. Ball's thrown over the top out to the timeline to Marcus Sheldon. Marcus Sheldon to Gillette. Gillette works it up top to Marcus. Back over the corner, Washburn. Washburn puts it on the ground. Tries to step through. Grabowski, there was a handoff. William Grabowski handed it to his brother, then turned to hand it to Brian Maxim. Brian Maxim got it to the right guy. He got it to Dow, let him come up across the timeline. Brian Maxim gets it to Jake Bartlett. A little step through. Brian Maxim on the board. Gets a little bit of contact, but no call. West Rutland's able to hustle down and get the ball back. Gets it to William Grabowski, or Francis Grabowski. Gets it to Maxim up top, to Bartlett. Gives it to Dow, gives it to Maxim. Gets it across, gets it to Bartlett. 3-point attempt is good. That's a huge shot. 4-point lead for the Golden Horde. Questionable shot on the coach's mind, but it went. That's a bad shot. When it goes in, it becomes a great shot. I think that's what Donnie's saying. He didn't want that shot at that point, but because it went in, it turns into a good shot. Turnover by Whitcomb. Ball's thrown into Jake Bartlett. Jake Bartlett dribbling the ball up across the timeline. He's being covered by Gillette. Whitcomb's got a long ways to go to get into the foul. So we're gonna stay right here because we got a 30-second timeout. So with 51.9 seconds to go, we got a 4-point lead for the Golden Horde, and they still have to give 3 fouls in order to put the Horde on the line. So I'm guessing the coach from Whitcomb, Mr. Parrish, is probably telling his team right now, go for the steal, but we need some quick fouls because we need to try to get the ball back. So we'll see what West Rutland does. I'm sure the Coach Dunches is telling his boys the same thing. Expect the fouls to come, secure the ball, move to all passes. So they're coming out in high pressure right here. You're going to look to force the turnover on the rebound or on the inbound ball. Gives it to Jacob Dow. And that's exactly what we thought was going to happen, is they are giving fouls and giving them quickly. So if they're not turning the ball over, on the initial pass, gets it into Jake Bartlett. Jake Bartlett goes to the hoop and scores. Stretches it to a 6-point lead. Nobody picked up Bartlett. They thought the ball was going to the backcourt. That's a deep 3. That's no good. Francis Grabowski gets Washburn down in the post. That's 4 on him. And that puts Whitcomb in the bonus. Even though this is 2-shot, Whitcomb will be shooting on every foul. So they're being told, Coach Dunches is telling his guards right now to tell them, don't foul. Make them earn everything from the field. First one's short. That's a tired player. Washburn's worked really hard on the boards on both ends, scored some points. He's playing really good defense. He's drawn Maxim in the post, so he's had to battle all night. So tired legs, tired shot. Second attempt is up, and that is no good. Jake Bartlett grabs the ball, gets it to Grabowski, and Grabowski gets fouled, but still need one more. So official just checked with the table. That's only the 6th-team foul. 6th-team foul, and get the ball into Jacob Bartlett. So 1-1. So that foul goes on Gillette. That's his 3rd. So Jacob Dow is going to go to the line. 4-point game. It's still a 2-possession game. See if Jacob Dow can stretch it. It's going to be a 2-possession game no matter what happens here. The first one's up and good. Ice water running through those veins for Jacob Dow.
You gotta get a quick one down here, Green.
And I was doing the math incorrectly. That made it a 3-possession game. That's 7-point lead for the Golden Horde. I was thinking that we were only going to want to put 6-point lead after that trip. Ball's up. Deep 3, thrown by number 23. Throws the ball in, gets it into Grabowski, who wants to just hold on to it so he can go to the line. So, still a 2-possession game with 11 seconds to go. 4 points. Coach Dunches is real adamant about no fouls. With 11 seconds to go, as long as the Golden Horde don't foul, they should be able to close this one out. Grabowski hits the first one, stretches it to a 5-point lead. So no fouls. Yelled out by Coach Dunches, 5-point lead. Second one's up, but that's short. They're trying to push the ball quick. No fouls. Staying down on the floor. Deep 3, and he hits it. We got a timeout. We're going to stay right here. That was a deep 3 just hit by Nick Webb. It's 46-44, 0.6 seconds. So West Rutland just has to get the ball in play, because as long as they don't throw it directly to the other team, there's not enough time on the clock. The only thing Whitcomb can do is deny the pass coming into play and have their own inbound play. But with 0.6 seconds to go, it pretty much has to be a catch and release all in the same action. So what they're looking to do, I'm guessing West Rutland's looking to throw this ball long and just get a touch on it. So we'll see who's going to inbound this ball. So it looks like they're going to go long. It sounds like Francis Grabowski's going to take the ball out. He got the instructions not to throw the ball too high or too low. And looking to just possess the ball if they can. And that's the end of the game. Exactly how you draw it up. Throw it long, just get a touch, and get the horn. So West Rutland Golden Horde picks up back-to-back wins, 46-44. Gutty performance by Whitcomb. 2 deep threes to end the game to close it out to a 2-point game. So we're going to sign off from the Hinchy Gymnasium with the West Rutland Golden Horde winning the game 46-44.